Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert. Well, if you're watching this, you've seen Infinity War, so we can talk about Easter eggs, or we can just hold each other. Maybe just a few moments of numb silence. It's okay, just let it out. This is a healing place. Okay, I feel better. Let's talk about some of these Infinity War surprises, because we have a whole year to wait to find out what happens next. Neat. The first neat little trick comes right at the beginning, actually, in the logo. Did you see that they made the I in Studios into a 1? Because it's been 10 years since Marvel Studios kicked this whole thing off with Iron Man and the Incredible Hulk in 2008? Because they did. I saw it. Thanos' origin story may have been original for this movie, but a number of plot threads and goings-on in the film are at least light references to the original comics. Thanos snapping his fingers to wipe out half the universe's population is a memorable visual from the comic books, as is Doctor Strange's creepy needle torture by Ebony Maw and Peter Parker's snazzy new Iron Spider suit. Right off the top, before Thanos really starts laying waste to everyone we've come to know and love, Tony Stark and Pepper Potts are talking baby names. Tony drops that he'd consider naming a kid after a certain eccentric uncle, Morgan. Could this be a reference to the Morgan Stark of Marvel Comics, a minor Iron Man villain who's always wanted to wrest control of Stark Industries for himself? Maybe, just so long as there's no follow-up questions. Later, Thor refers to the Avengers as Earth's mightiest heroes, a name first given to the group way back in their 1963 comic book debut. Back then, the crew consisted of Ant-Man, the Hulk, Iron Man, Thor, and the Wasp. Hey, wait a minute, aren't those the same characters who are left out of this movie, or left non-vaporized at the end of this movie? That's weird. Probably just a coincidence. What's not a coincidence is Thor's new toy being named Stormbreaker. In the comics, it wasn't an axe, but a hammer created by Odin and wielded by the alien warrior Beta Ray Bill. By the way, there was another shout out to Beta Ray Bill in Thor Ragnarok. He was one of the champions featured on the Grandmaster's Palace. Are they trying to tell us something? While arguing with Tony, Peter makes the case that he needs a neighborhood in order to be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. This isn't just a recognizable catchphrase, but served as the title of a Marvel comic book series in the past. Might be a good name for a Spidey sequel, if there's going to be one. Too bad he's ashes now. Even Vision seeking to run off and settle down into a normal life is something of a comic book shout-out. Tom King's recent series, Vision, Little Worse Than a Man, explores the android's attempt to become a human and build himself a human family. Beyond just the world of Marvel Comics, Infinity War throws out references to the entire universe of pop culture. Or, well, the half of the universe of pop culture that's left. Stark compares Ebony Maw to Squidward from SpongeBob during an early encounter. At another point, Doctor Strange asks Tony if Peter Parker is his ward. A seeming cross-comic publisher shout-out to Dick Grayson and Bruce Wayne's special relationship. Now, before Infinity War came out, directors Joe and Anthony Russo promised it would contain a shout-out to TV's classic Arrested Development. Well, you'll be pleased to know that they have not made a huge mistake. Never knew Tobias Funke, the character played by David Cross, is on display in the Collector's Ruin Museum wearing his familiar jean cutoffs. He even apparently blew himself before the movie. Also, maybe it's just me, but when Tony asks Strange, "Doctor, do you concur?" I think this might be a shout out to Steven Spielberg's Catch Me If You Can. That movie finds Leonardo DiCaprio's con man using the same phrasing.
Dr. Harris.
Yes?
Do you concur?
Of course, it wouldn't be a Marvel movie without a Stan Lee cameo. He's the one driving Peter Parker's school bus. Oh, and that's the Queensboro Bridge they're on, by the way, not the one where Green Goblin killed Gwen Stacy. That was the Brooklyn Bridge. Get it right, imaginary voice I'm responding to. The biggest shocker cameo in the whole film has gotta be the appearance by Red Skull on planet Vormir. When we last saw him way back in Captain America the First Avenger, he had grabbed hold of the Tesseract, which we now realize contained the Space Stone. It certainly seemed like the stone had killed him, especially because actor Hugo Weaving famously disliked wearing the extremely hot prosthetic. But now we find out that he had just been transported to a distant corner of the universe where he spends eternity delivering Infinity Stone exposition. A real living nightmare. This was maybe not a cameo, but it was certainly difficult to spot her. Did you notice Fargo, The Leftovers, and the post-star Carrie Coon in the movie? She played Proxima Midnight, one of Thanos' children, who takes on Black Widow, Okoye, and Scarlet Witch in Wakanda. Yeah, wow, she's almost unrecognizable behind that helm. And in our grand finale post-credits sequence, Samuel L. Jackson makes his mother-effing glorious return as Nick Fury alongside Kobe Smulders as former S.H.I.E.L.D. agent Maria Hill. We haven't seen her since Age of Ultron either, just so you know. Right before Fury dissolves into nothingness, he sends a mysterious page into space. Based on the logo, he sent a message to none other than Captain Marvel, whose big movie debuts in March of 2019. So we only have to wait, another year again. Curse you, Feige! Don't you think they're being purposefully cruel here? At the very end of the credits, these MCU movies usually shout out to the next entry in the series that will feature the characters. Like, Captain America will return in Civil War. You know what I'm talking about. This one just says Thanos will return. That's it. Earth's mightiest heroes are dead, and we have to watch the sunset with Grimace for all eternity. Oh yeah, that's another pop culture reference. They call Thanos Grimace like the purple guy from McDonald Land. Anyway, that's it. Half the universe is destroyed. Thanks for watching. I'd suggest letting us know your favorite Infinity War moment in the comments below, but half the universe is destroyed, so that hardly seems important right now.